My name is Charikleia Tzanakou and I'm working at the University of Warwick. I'm part of the PLOTINA project, and in this brief podcast I will do an introduction to the PLOTINA Online module, looking at sex, gender from multidisciplinary lenses. What is PLOTINA? PLOTINA is a EU-funded project under the Horizon 2020 program, which stands for Promoting Gender Balance and Inclusion in Research, Innovation and Training. The overall objective of PLOTINA is to enable the development, implementation and assessment of self-tailored gender equality plans with innovative strategies for research-performing organizations. As part of this, the PLOTINA consortium has been working intensively for 4 years, and the result is a set of modular and adaptable resources for any research-performing organization to use. The PLOTINA project is implemented by the PLOTINA consortium, which is comprised of 10 partners across Europe. Among these, there are 6 research-performing organizations, including the University of Warwick in the United Kingdom, the University of Bologna in Italy, the National Institute of Chemistry in Slovenia, the Mondragon University in Spain, the Lisbon School of Economics and Management in Portugal, and the Eugene University in Turkey. PLOTINA aims to contribute towards 3 overall objectives: removing barriers to recruitment, retention, and career progression of female researchers, reducing gender imbalance in decision-making bodies, and integrating the sex and gender dimension in research and teaching. One of the PLOTINA deliverables was for the PLOTINA team at the University of Warwick to develop a module which is addressed to postgraduate students and early career researchers that would raise awareness about sex and gender issues in different disciplines. Of course, this could be of value to undergraduate students, academic staff, and wider public as well. Gender issues are complex and multidimensional, and it is often challenging to find colleagues who perceive these issues similarly, even within the same discipline. So when one embarks on getting contributions from colleagues, especially across different disciplines, it becomes increasingly tricky to share similar understandings and perceptions on this topic, which is reflected in the collection of podcasts in this module. You will find 9 podcasts that will enable you to look at sex and gender issues from different disciplinary perspectives, provided by experts in sociology, biomedical sciences, physics, statistics, behavioral sciences, history, applied linguistics. The contributors are coming from a diverse range of career stages, institutions, and geographical contexts, although there are quite a few from the University of Warwick for obvious reasons. So the 9 podcasts and contributors are the following. I do apologize in advance for any mispronunciation. We have Gender and Science, Scientific Facts and Fictions of Gender by Dr. Liz Ablett, Neuroscience and Gender, 7 Things to Know About Sex, Gender, Brains and Behavior by Professor Cordelia Fine, Biomedical Science and Gender by Dr. Antonia Sagona, Statistics and Gender, Focus on Indicators and Gender Equality by Dr. Laure Humbert, Physics and Gender by Professor Helen Gocho, Gender and the History of Science by Dr. Michael Bycroft, Gender and Academic Research and a Linguistic Perspective by Anastasia Stavridou, Economics and Gender, Publishing While Female, Are Women Held to Higher Standards? Evidence from Peer Review by Dr. Erin Hengel, and Gender Inclusive Teaching from Hannah Ayres. What is interesting about this collection is not the difference in looking at sex and gender issues, but also how disciplinary lenses overlap and highlight particular aspects that we should be aware of and consider in our research practice. These overlapping themes have been the following for me watching this podcast. The critique of scientific knowledge as objective and authoritative, and the importance of understanding that it is situated actually in specific contexts, which is influenced by actors, times and places, which is raised by Dr. Ablett, Dr. Sagona and Dr. Bycroft. Linked to this point, it's obvious that there is the gender world of science, which is shown through examples of gender scientific practices and knowledge, reflecting gendered assumptions and prejudices, which is shown in podcasts by Dr. Bycroft, Dr. Gutschel, Professor Fine, and Dr. Ablett. Biases in publications which show sex and gender differences are explicitly reported in Professor Fine, Dr. Ablett's podcast, but also Dr. Hengel's podcast. The exclusion of women in science is mentioned in most podcasts, while the contributors also provide us with names and biographies of women role models in different disciplines, as you will find in Dr. Bycroft's, Dr. Sagona's, Dr. Gutschel, Dr. Ablett's. You also find one podcast which is devoted to queer pedagogy and why it is important to consider gender in the classroom, with practical tips being provided as well. How it should be used? The podcast could be used together as an online module within degree programs to provide different disciplinary lenses and food for thought to students. However, each one of them could be utilized as part of a lecture or a seminar or a reading list within different disciplinary programs and modules. In many institutions, there are interdisciplinary modules that can be available to students from different degree programs. If local institutional rules require credit points for a module, then the above program could be supplemented by a method of assessment, which should be defined by the module leader in its institution. For example, individual essay or project work could be potential options. This has been a collective, illuminating undertaking that would not have been possible without the contributors. We'd really like to thank all the contributors for the energy, time and effort they put into this podcast, and we do hope that this module will be useful to individuals, teachers, researchers and research performing organizations. Thank you for your attention. You can find more information about PLOTINA on our dedicated website. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at the email address provided here. And if you do find the module useful, drop us an email or tweet about it. Thank you.